Hello and welcome to Liberty Nation's LNTV. I'm Mark Angelides, and today I'm joined by economics correspondent Andrew Moran to discuss the Parkland shooting survivor David Hogg's new company, Good Pillow. Now, Andrew, Hogg started this company in direct response to My Pillow founder Mike Lindell's political activism. Is this essentially a Larry David style spite store? And can you tell us a few of the stumbling blocks that Mr. Hogg has had along the way?
Yeah, I'm waiting for the next couple of years. I'll have that Curb Your Enthusiasm video meme that YouTube is filled with. But, when you read through his tweets, it looks more like a kid who's doing an entrepreneurial project for high school. And he spends most of his time on Twitter slamming Fox News and complaining about his critics. He says, I'm going to get all this free publicity because Fox News is going to complain about me. That's not how you really run a business. I mean, it seems more like a leftist troll campaign than anything else. But, so far, from what I've seen from reading through his tweets and reading through the media reports is that his biggest struggle for Good Pillow is getting unionized manufacturing for pillow, because there aren't too many unionized pillow manufacturers in the United States. So if you read through his manifesto, which is that's an interesting word to use for his company, he says he wants to use unionized labor for manufacturing. So if that's not possible, then he could just slap the Good Pillow brand on some other type of pillow, and then perhaps at the end he could just tergiversate and say, it's not my fault. I can't find unionized labor, so I'm just gonna do something else and then blame Ben Shapiro for my problems.
From an economics and business standpoint, is it ever a good idea to try and rival a well-established company like My Pillow when you have, as far as I can tell, neither experience of running a company nor experience in that particular industry?
Well, I mean, anytime there is competition, that is a great thing. Conservatives, they're poking fun at David Hogg, but, I wish him the best of luck. More competition, the better. Mike Lindell, he even admitted this. He said, hey, if there's more pillow competition, that's better for everybody else. I just don't know if there's enough demand for more pillow brands in the United States. I think the market is about $15 to $20 billion in the world alone for pillows. And that's a problem with many young entrepreneurs. They see that figure and they say to themselves, oh, if I could only capture 1% of 1% of the market, then I could make it big. From what I've seen, Good Pillow doesn't seem to offer anything different from My Pillow or any other pillow company. My Pillow has an exclusive patent design for open cell foam memory, whatever that is. But obviously, it's working. If it's one of the biggest pillow companies in the world. That said, in theory, you make sense that you have the acumen and you have the experience to go ahead against some of these massive corporations or large companies. But these young entrepreneurs, they try to piggyback off of the titans and use social media for buzz. And, who knows if that's going to work or not. And now it just seems more like a joke the more he's on Twitter and complaining about everything and making excuses too.
You mentioned, and obviously David Hogg mentioned, that he was looking for unionized manufacturers. Mm-hmm. So to me, this seems that he's either going to be partnering with an existing company or essentially just branding someone else's pillow. So, I mean, you kind of hinted at this, but it seems less like launching a business than more like a Twitter campaign. What are your thoughts?
Yeah, as I wrote in my article, I quoted Cameron Kasky, and he was one of the Parkland shooter survivors, and he was instrumental to the March for Our Lives movement, and he called it a pillow grift. And from what I've seen on Twitter, that's exactly what it seems like. Hogg is using his fame from the tragic shooting in Parkland, and using all that publicity got from the March for Our Lives to use some random pillow business just to get back at Mike Lindell for supporting President Trump, or to get back at conservatives for whatever reason. But as you've alluded to before, it seems more like a Twitter campaign than anything else. The venture may have just started. I think it was in early February he made the announcement, but now it's just all talk. He's not walking the walk. He's not doing anything except complaining. I liken it to the kids in high school who say that they have a hot girlfriend, but who goes to another school. But
she lives in Canada. You don't know her.
But all they do is they just go home and they fantasize about Monica Bellucci. I'm not gonna say who did that in high school, but you know what I'm talking about.
We understand. Last question, please. In your opinion, would a regular bank offer a business loan to David Hogg based on what he's presented so far, and especially after reading his company manifesto? Or is he more likely to be getting funding from other progressive organizations also looking to score a political hit?
Yeah, well, his goal as the My Pillow founder or co-founder is that he wants to generate $1 million in revenues within 1 year. But there's no talk of profit. The whole thing is about supporting progressive causes and supporting any leftist scheme there is. So I haven't seen the word profit in much of his documents or his comments. But I would think as a financial institution, your main goal is to turn a profit and satisfy shareholders by lending to reasonable borrowers. If you're a company, you tell the lender that, hey, my goal isn't much profit, then I don't know what the heck you're doing for borrowing from a bank. But again, at the same time, in this woke world, perhaps banks would be willing to lend more or would be willing to lose money on an investment to appease the militant left or to appease, these goodwill endeavors like Good Pillow, especially with these many corporate titans paying lip service to these progressive causes. But if there is some semblance of reason, then perhaps Hogg would be better off crowdfunding and appealing to his base, the progressive base, the ones who hate Trump and would be willing to do anything to get back at his enemies. But at the same time, leftists rarely ever put skin in the game, so it'll be quite difficult and challenging to get money from these people because they'll expect others to do it for David Hogg.
Very good points, Andrew. Many thanks for being here.
Thank you.
And that's it for this edition of Liberty Nation TV. Remember to hit Liberty Nation News for original articles, the Uprising and Rabbit Hole podcasts, and our signature television program, The Conservative 5. Just go to libertynation.com on your browser or hit Rumble, YouTube, or check out Liberty Nation News Roku channel. I'm Mark Angelides. Thanks for watching. This program is a production of libertynation.com, conservative news where truth matters.
Go deeper on the topic discussed in this video, head on over to one of these links here or go to our Liberty Nation Roku channel. Thanks so much for watching, and don't forget to subscribe and hit the notification bell for Liberty.